Evans' three-point shot.
Mitchell gets a powering shot, baby.
Red Bulls takes it to the house.
The following is a production of the Rough Rider broadcast team, a presentation of Watlington and Shires Productions.
Hey folks, welcome here to the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, and it is Larry Pierce here. We're holding it in Pizzeria, and kind of by ourselves here tonight. We have some things going with the weather and stuff like that, so we do have some guests in here, but I've got some start off here, the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show here on our Monday night at the Pizzeria coming in this evening. So just coming in, I know I sound a little terrible, but I promise that I'm just a little congested here and getting on the back end of this thing, but I'm going to put the coaches down here and on the other end, as you can see, once we get ready for that coming up here in just one second, and we'll get that up there. And where's that at there? Did I get the camera right? Make my camera good. There we go. So we got the pizza down there from the pizzeria as well. So that's what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to talk off here in our opening statement about, just all the things that we got going on. A lot of great games coming up. We've covered a lot of games so far here deep in the heart of the Piney Woods. And I know this coaches show is going to be even bigger here. We got some weather and some things that, sometimes hamper some coaches from being able to get here, which is totally fine. We totally understand. We just want to make sure that they know they have the opportunity to come here. And I know that we have Coach Wager and we have Eli Ferguson, one of the players from Shelbyville. He'll be here, and we'll talk about some stuff for Shelbyville basketball coming up, as we covered them on Saturday against the game in Joaquin. We also have them coming up on next Friday as a very tough game going on in Shelbyville. That will be Tenaha at Shelbyville. It's going to be a good game. The girls over there in Tenaha ranked number 2 in the state right now, and the Shelbyville Lady Dragons are really coming together here, and we're going to talk a little about them and Coach Murray's squad as we get into the Shelbyville talk here coming up in a little bit. But let's start off here with it is the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. Thanks for joining us here. As you see, I'm on the press box camera, and then what I'm going to do is whenever we get ready to talk to the coaches, I'm going to switch over there. That way, I'm not, spreading anything around out here. But we got some great pizza going on down here. So let's see. We're going to get in here, and I just want to say a few minutes as we've got the season roll along here. The Tenaha Tigers are now part of our repertoire. We're going to be covering them a couple times this week. Actually, we're going to be there tomorrow night. We will go to Tenaha as the Gary Bobcats come to town. That'll be our first broadcast there. And then on Friday night, as I said, Tenaha will visit Shelbyville. We'll have that game right here for you on NetSN on your Friday night game of the week. Moving on after that, we got lots of great games coming up for you, too. So we're going to talk about that. But I just want to take a few minutes here as we're getting started, the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, to say thank you to all the wonderful viewers, the fans, the coaches, the kids, and the ADs, and everybody who's been really receptive to us and done everything we've asked we need, and they've done for us and make sure we were good there. We were in Beckville the other night, and that was a great game over there too. We're going to talk about that coming up. But I tell you, just the ADs and the coaches and the kids have just been very receptive. And I thought really I would start off with like maybe 4 or 5 teams, and now we've got 9, maybe 10 teams, and it could be even growing after that. And we're getting ready to put together the schedule for softball and baseball over that Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, too. Will be going on as we go through that right here at the Pizzeria. I said we got a lot of pizza going on here tonight, but it is underway, and we're going to be moving along. And the Rick Meeks Show is actually going on right now as well, but it is not really the Rick Meeks Show tonight. It is actually the annual sports banquet for the band and football, I do believe, out there at Center High School. So that's where you can catch Shires and all those guys. That's where they're out there doing that. So we're here kind of by ourselves a little bit, which is fine. Not a problem. We like it that way. But, hey, once again, just want to say a big thank you to everybody and be very receptive, and thank you for everything that everybody's done to really make this a great start to what we've been going on here. Can't say thank you to everybody enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick 2-minute break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk a little bit about Torino basketball. Guys and gals, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the games that we covered. And then here in a little bit, we're going to bring in the Shelbyville guys. We're going to talk to some Shelbyville basketball. That's all coming up here. Stay with us. It is the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show live from the Pizzeria here on your rainy Monday night. At least it's not cold.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with Best of Nacogdoches and Best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
For Matthews Realty, going above and beyond is what's expected. This is agency owner Colin Matthews. Our team of seasoned real estate professionals believe in giving their clients an advantage in any real estate transaction. Matthews Realty has a reputation of highly personalized service. Matter of fact, it's our #1 priority. From commercial and residential properties, poultry farms to beach rentals, our team works hard so you don't have to.
Call Matthews Realty 598-7800 or see their complete listings at matthewsrealty.com.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
The games have never been bigger this fall, and whether you're rooting for the Cowboys or Texans, or you hook 'em, gig 'em, or wreck 'em, don't you deserve to watch them in style? So just a reminder that Blake Furniture saves you money on everything you need to make these the best game watching days ever.
All righty, folks, we're back here. Welcome back to the Pizzeria, and let's talk a little bit about basketball here. We were expecting to have some Trino coaches here, but some things kind of so with the weather going on. Let's talk a little bit about Trino girls basketball. We were able to cover them a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, and Coach Turner's squad, they lost a tough one to a very good Woden squad, 42-41 on Friday night. They had a couple of games against Corrigan Camden and Coleman Hill, and now Corrigan is a very good team up in there, but I think that the Lady Owls were able to get that one as well as Coleman Hill, because I've seen both of those teams there too, and nothing against all those teams, but I think that the Trino girls probably were able to come out there with victories, and I know that they're going to be taking on Broadus, San Augustine, and Corrigan Camden the final 3 games here for the girls before they wrap up the regular season coming up here. So Coach Turner's got his girls moving along really good right now in that district. It's Broadus, West Sabine, Woden, Chirino, Coleman Hill, San Augustine, and then it is Corrigan Camden down there at the bottom of it. So Chirino was right there. So Trino just needs to keep winning in the district. They got some big games coming up. Broadus has been really doing very well. I found out the Broadus girls are ranked in like number 18 or 20 in Texas high school girls basketball. Check that out today. So good job there by Broadus. San Augustine Lady Wolves are doing very, very well too. They're just moving right along as they go through the season. Corrigan Camden, they're down a little bit. They're trying to work their way back in, and so they're doing good too. But I think Coach Turner's really got his girls ready to rock and roll out there, and they're doing a good job there and just moving right along. Kind of coming up in from some of the things that happened earlier in the year, some sicknesses stuff whenever they first got into the season, and I know we're going to be down there covering him some more here, but he's got some great girls. His girls, Venegas, Higginbotham, Williams, Turner, just to name a few of them out there. They are some very good girls, and they know how to play basketball, and they play very, very well. They play well together. Lasowski, she's been in there too. They like to shoot the threes out there. They're pretty good from the three-point line, so from the charity stripe there. So Coach Turner and his Lady Wolves from Chirino, or Lady Owls, I'm sorry, from Chirino, are doing very, very good, and they're moving right there, and they're right there, like I said, they're in that number 4 spot right now. So trying to go against that win over Woden, get them a little bit closer. So they just need to keep moving along here. They got 3 big games coming up here. That tough one to get Broadus, San Augustine, and Corrigan Camden. Not easy games for the Lady Owls still coming up here for Coach Turner's squad, but he does have a very good team there, and I think they have a very good chance of either securing that number 3 or 4 spot there to get themselves into the playoff run there for Coach Turner and his girls. Now, talked a little bit about Coach Graves with the Chirino guys and the Chirino Owls, and Coach, had a kind of discussion with him on some texting and stuff, and we were talking about, how he'd get some of his guys back. And everybody's been kind of sick on that run there, getting some of his guys back and get onto the back half of this district season. That's where they need to be. They need the back half of this district season, and they'll be doing a really good job. And Coach Graves, he let me know that he had some things going on, so he wasn't able to get down here tonight. But that's okay. We understand. And so they lost to Woden on the 19th, 53-45. Tough Woden team school there because I seen them. They're right there. It's San Augustine, now Corrigan and Corrigan Camden, then Woden, and then Chirino sitting there in that 4 spot. So Chirino right there, coach is getting his guys back, and they got some really good games coming up. They can definitely some games that they can win against Corrigan Camden, which is actually the last year's district champion, and San Augustine was able to get the win there. But Corrigan Camden is playing very well, and they got that game coming up. Also against Coleman Hill. Oh, they lost to Corrigan, and they won against Coleman Hill. Sorry, that's what they got. They got West Sabine coming up and a couple others on the way. But Coach Graves has got his guys where they're getting back into it, and they're playing really good basketball too. So, don't count out to the Owls just yet. Coach Graves has got those guys moving along. And in that district, you got San Augustine, Corrigan Camden, Woden, Chirino right there, number 4, Broadus, West Sabine, and Coleman Hill. All those teams right there, Broadus, West Sabine, Torino, Woden, all right there. You know, they're in that trying to fight for that 3 and 4 spot. Right now, it looks like it could just be between Corrigan, Camden, and St. Augustine. I don't know for sure yet, but I mean, even Woden's trying to sneak back up in there, and Woden's going to be in there. The last game that we're going to cover in the regular season is going to be that St. Augustine-Woden game. That could be that's one of them, and then it's against Woden and Torino. So those last 2 games right there are going to kind of determine what's happening in this district as we get ready to roll on. But Coach Gray's got him back, got the kids coming back, and they're playing good basketball, and he's got good guys out there, and they're going to be moving it up and down the floor. They have some tall young men out there that can shoot the ball. They get up and down the floor quick. They play very well together, and they like playing for Coach Graves. So I look for good things coming from the Torino Wolves, or Torino Owls. I don't know why I keep saying the Wolves. The Torino Owls as they get ready to roll on into their season. Still, to the back half of the district we're going, and they're doing very well. So congratulations to Coach Graves and the Torino Owls. They're doing very well. Same thing with Coach Turner and the gals over there as well. So next up for us here, we're going to talk a little bit about the games that we covered the other day, and that was in Beckville against the Garrison Bulldogs. What great games those were over there as well. And then Friday night, we were over in Shelbyville with Joaquin and Shelbyville. So we'll get to that coming up here in just a minute. But let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk about the Beckville game. And then as we roll on, we'll get to the Shelbyville guys over and we'll talk some Shelbyville basketball. That is all on the way. Stay with us here as we're moving along at the Pizzeria Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. Nothing but me right now. Hope that's okay here on NetSN.
Many of you may know Brad Ernst from his coverage of Texas high school basketball for Hoop Insider. But did you know he also saves coaches and fans thousands of dollars on their insurance? Brad has access to multiple carriers and can shop around to find you the lowest rates on your home, auto, RV, boat, and ATV insurance. Contact Brad today and talk some hoops and see how he can save you on insurance. Email him today at hoopinsider@gmail.com or call him today at 409-988-4336.
Center Motor Company. From whatever angle you look at it, you see Ford. Ford trucks, SUVs like the Bronco, and iconic cars like the Mustang. A legacy managed by Kevin Jones and created by Ray Jones. Center Motor Company on Hurst Street in Center.
Individually, and maybe best of all,
at Aurora Concepts, our team of doctors and advanced practice providers are highly trained and qualified in family medicine. We strive to provide our patients guidance towards the healthiest lifestyle possible, no matter their age. We offer a full spectrum of family medicine, including scheduled appointments, telehealth services you can do from home, and walk-in visits with no appointment. We accept all major insurances, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we also have the most competitive self-pay rates in the area. For highly trained expert care in East Texas, choose Aurora Concepts. Let us take care of you.
so many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back here to the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, and it is me, Larry Pierce, and we're just kind of going through some of the things we did earlier. Some of the coaches were not able to make it here tonight, but that's all right. We're going to talk some good stuff about all those great things we were doing. Well, on Friday night, we were over in Beckville, and we got to be there for the Beckville Bearcats and the Garrison Bulldogs. What great games both of them were, and Coach Brisby for the Lady Bearcats, so I'm looking for her district win, their first district win. But I tell you what, she's got a couple of gals over there for those Lady Bearcats that are pretty good basketball players. Flanagan and Burroughs, just some rebounding young ladies. I mean, they're scoring respectively there. They're scoring up and down the line. Lost off a few threes there, but I think what happened was Garrison, the Lady Bulldogs, and Coach Honey and Coach Jassy, Coach English really got them into playing some really tight defensive on Coach Brisby's squad, and that really kind of deterred the Lady Bearcats there for Beckville. That's kind of what happened on that ball game right there. But I got to give it up to the Lady Bearcats. They were right there. It was 9-8. at the end of the first quarter, 20-17 at the end of that. They're at halftime, and actually, just only down by 6 by the end of the third. And they ended up going down 44-35 in that ball game, as the Lady Bulldogs there for Garrison was able to really pull it out. And I'm gonna tell you what, I've watched the Lady Garrison Bulldogs a couple of times here, and they have a young lady there. Her name is Downs. Last name is Downs. She had 22 points. This young lady is phenomenal on the basketball court. I just love to watch her play. She's really, really good. She takes command of the court. She knows what she's doing out there. She can shoot. She can dish. She did it all the other night there against Beckville and pretty much secured the win. She had 22 points. 8 of those came in that fourth quarter. So a good job there by Coach Honey, Coach English's squad for the Lady Bulldogs as they got the win there. Another big district win for them. They needed that to go to 3-5 on the district there, as that district is kind of tight for these squads in here. As we're looking at some of those districts here on the girls, so you got Tenaha, Timpson, Joaquin, Shelbyville, Garrison, and then you have Gary and Beckville in there. So the Beckville Lady Bearcats looking to get in on that first big district win. But I tell you, they played a really good game out there the other night, and they gave everything that they could to the Garrison Lady Bulldogs. But the Garrison Lady Bulldogs, Coach English, Coach Honey, they did a great job, and they got themselves a good victory there the other night. And that's at 22 points by Downs. She was just all over the place there. Davis, a good rebounder, too. They were rebounding the ball. Townsend, Jasic, they were good from the free throw line. Same thing for the Bearcats. I mean, they were really good from the free throw line. They went 12-16. They didn't really shoot too many threes out there. They didn't really get into it. They've had one in the first quarter, one later in the game. But Coach Brisby says that, her team's a little young yet, so they're still working on that. So they're going to get that going as they roll along here. So good luck to Coach Brisby and the Lady Bearcats. And we're going to be covering them coming up here before too long, as we're going to have Shelbyville and Beckville coming up here in a couple of weeks, and that could be for a very big district name there as we get ready for the guys on the guys side of it. So that's where we were the other night for those for the ladies. And then on the guys side of it, got to really see Williams, who is headed to Texas Tech. This young man is a phenomenal athlete on the football field, phenomenal athlete there on the basketball court. He had 21 points the other night. Bullock had 19, and the Bearcats look really, really good out there. They have some height. They can move the ball around, and they're a very good basketball team. And they went 10-24 at that three-point line. They were shooting them up out there. And the Garrison Bulldogs, they made it close. It was 66-51. It didn't look like that on there, but, I mean, it really was closer than what it looked like, because the Bulldogs just couldn't really – the last 3 or 4 minutes of that ball game was kind of the difference there. The Bearcats kind of pulled it away there, but the Bulldogs were out there all over the place. And I'll tell you, they had some great plays out to Davidson. Once again, we talked about him when they played Shelbyville. Yarborough. Shepard, phenomenal game for him. He had one outstanding play that, you could go back and watch that on the NetSN and go watch that game. But outstanding game there for the Bearcats. They got the win over Garrison, and the Garrison Bulldogs, really trying to stay here in that district run as well. As right now in our district, it is Beckville, Shelbyville, Timpson, Tenaha, Garrison right there. Tenaha and Garrison are kind of right there. And Garrison, Gary and Joaquin bringing it up there. But Garrison, Tenaha has an opportunity to get another win, as we're going to have them tomorrow night, as Gary will be in town. But Garrison and the Bulldogs move along really well, and they just keep moving it. And they could end up there in that 3, maybe 4 spot. But Timpson starting to get their game legs together. We're going to be covering them with Shelbyville coming up as well, too. So stick with us on that one. All right, that's kind of the games that we covered here last week, and we also covered the Joaquin and Shelbyville game on Saturday, as that game was supposed to be our Tuesday night game of the week, got moved to Saturday. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to bring Coach Wager, and we have a special guest, one of the young men from the team. That's Eli Ferguson, and the young man that I just love to watch him shoot the 3. He's just a natural shot. Just you can't beat it. So we're going to talk to them coming up here as well. As we're moving on, I want to say thank you to all the good folks here at the pizzeria. As I don't know if we've got our camera up there right yet, but let's see what we got here. And there we go. As you can see, the pizza getting a little bit eaten up there, but we're going to have the coaches right down there on that end here coming up just shortly. So stick with us, folks. We're going to take ourselves another break. We're going to come back here. We're going to get Coach Wager and Eli Ferguson here to have a chat with us. We're going to talk some Shelbyville basketball and girls Shelbyville basketball, too, because I saw Coach Murray, how excited he was on a very big win against Joaquin the other night to get them into that district title, not district title, but district run opportunity for the Lady Shelbyville Dragons as they're moving along as well. So stick with us, folks. We'll be right back as we're moving along here on your Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. I'm Larry Pierce. We're having a good time.
At Aurora Concepts, our team of doctors and advanced practice providers are highly trained and qualified in family medicine. We strive to provide our patients guidance towards the healthiest lifestyle possible, no matter their age. We offer a full spectrum of family medicine, including scheduled appointments, telehealth services you can do from home, and walk-in visits with no appointment. We accept all major insurances, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we also have the most competitive self-pay rates in the area. For highly trained expert care in East Texas, choose Aurora Concepts. Let us take care of you.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Ready? All right, here we go. We're back here as we get ready to go for the Coach Show, the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. And as you see on the camera, we got Coach Wager and Eli Ferguson here from the basketball team there for the Shelbyville Dragons. And, Coach, hey, thanks for joining us on this rainy day, man. How's things going for everybody?
Going well. Had a great practice today. Try to stay dry a little bit. That was tough throughout the day. But, all in all, things are good.
Right. And, I tell you what, there's been some good basketball games this week. You guys kind of had to go back-to-back on Friday and Saturday there, too, with all the craziness on the weather. So, but it turned out to be pretty good for you guys. You ever get a good game against Gary and a good win over against Joaquin. So a couple of big district wins that you guys could really build on.
Absolutely. It took us a while to get going in the Gary game, but, we kind of hit a spark in the third and fourth quarter that really got us rolling a little bit offensively. And carried that over into to Joaquin. Kind of had another slow start there as well, but outscored Joaquin 23-9 in the second quarter and really got on a run and kind of never looked back. So we're starting to figure things out offensively, and hopefully we continue that throughout district play the second half.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was looking really good because you guys, you play some great defense really to kind of keep Joaquin from those shots up there because that's what Coach wanted to do. He wanted to kind of slow it down, but you guys kind of picked it up a little bit, played some great defense, and they did miss some shots, and then you guys made some down there in that second quarter, kind of get your separation there. So, but that was a big win, especially on Saturday there against Joaquin, and, you had a lot of guys contributing out there, so you were able to play some other players that were out there too. That's always a good thing for the guy to get out there and play.
Absolutely. It's great to, get up and get some of those younger guys in, not only for we may need them the rest of the season, but, for the future of this program as well. But, I thought we guarded for 3 quarters. We gave up 24 points in the first 3, and then we kind of got lazy there in the fourth. I told them, I wasn't really pleased with how hard we played in the fourth quarter, and, we still got some things to clean up there. But overall, was very pleased with the way we, finished them in the second half.
Right, and I tell you what, too, I know I talked to you before on the show before, but I know I like watching Parker play. This young man, he's like he's amongst the trees all the time. He's not always the tallest guy, but he's always around the ball underneath the rack, and you just see him, and he might end up on the floor or whatever, but his defense and the way he's out there, his prowess is just you got to see him on the floor. It just looks awesome.
He's unbelievably tough, and, he never complains. He goes 100 miles an hour all the time and does everything that we ask him to do. And he's a huge piece to our program. So, credit to him.
Yeah, I tell you what, too, those guys have done an excellent job out there, moving the ball down the floor, finding the open man, and doing everything that they need to do to make sure that, this team is moving right along here, especially the young man you got next to you. We're going to talk to him a little bit, but I'm going to talk to you about, DJ. He really kind of, like you said, a little slow start there. He really didn't have nothing in the first, but he ended up with 15, and then he even started hitting some threes out there for you guys. I think we went like 9 of 24 the other night.
We did, especially in the first half, or I guess in the second quarters when we got rolling from beyond the arc. Eli hit a few to get us rolling, and then DJ, stepped back there and made a couple. But, he's starting to get his legs underneath him. He's 9 games in now. Mm-hmm. He's really starting to get on a roll and do some things that, we didn't have at the first of the season.
Right. Well, and that's it too. A lot of people don't realize that is, coming off of, out of being out of action, coming out of football and then being out of action a little bit with the injury and stuff like that. It does take a little bit to get those basketball legs to you. It's not an easy thing to just jump right in.
Absolutely. You lose your touch and you lose the things that you're used to going. We were talking the other day and he said, Coach, I'm used to the ball going in the hole when I drive to the rim. I was like, well, you haven't been, on the floor in forever and you haven't done anything for 11 weeks. So, just give it time and keep your head down and keep working. And you'll start to see some results, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, I mean, his natural ability is just going to actually start to come out there because we all know that this young man is going to be, and we know how much he wants to play basketball and move on from here. So he's going to be so good with that too. But the Mathis brothers, you get to bring them out there, and they were playing in there, and those two guys up front, and then of course, can't say enough about the big man Frick under there. He just makes everybody alter their shots and the things that they do, and it's just a pleasure to watch him under there as well.
Absolutely. Well, the twins, do a great job rebounding the basketball from the guard spot. I mean, I think. Geechie's given us almost 6, and John Mathis has stepped up. He had 12 points in the Tenaha game that really, I think, willed us to victory, and then stepped up against Timpson and kind of made 2 free throws late to put the game away. But, Weston there in the middle, he just kind of redirects traffic, and he's kind of our, we call him our center fielder or our catcher almost, that he's directing traffic and telling everybody what to do and talking, and anybody that comes in the lane, he sends them a different direction. So.
Right. That's true. I tell you, and you can't say enough about this young man next to you, and I sat there and I watched him play, and he's up and down the floor, and what they do a great job of just, you guys do a great job of getting him in the open area, because once he gets that open spot, and then it's just the natural flow of his shot that's out there.
Well, when he sees the ball go through the rim, I think it looks almost like a big trash can to him.
Right.
And so then credit to the guys, they find him, and when he sees a couple go in the hole, they keep finding him and keep getting the ball to him in spots to score it. I think he's shooting it at about 38% from beyond the arc right now in district play, which is incredible. I mean, anything above 30% at this level is really, really good. So hopefully he continues that over the next 6 games.
Yeah, I think he definitely will. But before we talk to Eli here, let's talk a little bit about some of those games, Coach. At the Timpson game, a big, good one there for you guys. Y'all definitely wanted to get that one. That keeps you right there as I think we're 5-1 in district now. And then you got Shelbyville or Breckville right up there. So that game's coming up. But that was a good game, a good win. You needed that one.
It was. It's huge for our guys. And we kind of came into that game with intensity that I haven't seen from us yet. To that point, but it was unbelievable. We kind of hit them in the mouth early and never looked back, and we were up 7-8 the whole game. They kind of made a run there at the end to tie it up, and we kind of withstood their run and gave them one last knockout blow to finish them. So credit to our guys, and I was unbelievably proud of them.
Yeah, and then rolling on that streak right now, because we talked a little bit about Gary too. Got the win there over Gary. That was another good one, and then the Joaquin win there. So a little bit about Gary, and the Bobcats. So they're kind of up and coming, but that was a game that was a game you can go in there and just run things out and try to figure out how to do some different things.
Well, it took us a while to get going. I think that we were up 14-9 at halftime. And we hit a spark in the third and the fourth quarter to get us going offensively. But in that game, we really had to rely defensively and rebound the basketball. I think we gave up 23 points, which is really, really good. Credit to the guys. But we're starting to hit our flow a little bit on the offensive end, and that carried, like I said, it carried over to Saturday, and hopefully we can continue that this coming Friday night.
All right, well, let's switch the headphones over there. We'll get the man on the headset here and see if we can talk to Eli for a second, if you don't mind, and see if everything's good. And Eli, man, thanks for being here, man. Did you enjoy the pizza?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hey, man, don't worry about it. We'll make it easy for you, I promise. I'm just going to talk a little bit about your game, man. Tell a little bit about yourself. You a senior?
Yes, sir. I'm a senior.
Senior this year. Any plans after school? What you got planned on?
Probably just go to Lamar, maybe pursue an engineering degree.
Awesome. There you go. That's what I'm saying. Maybe a little basketball, maybe?
Not there.
Okay, there you go. But I just want to tell you, man, I like what you play. I've talked to Coach about you a couple times, man, and I just like to watch you shoot. I mean, you just have a natural shot, it looks like, out there, and you get more confident every time you take a shot. You can kind of see that, you came out there and you kind of got the guys started off there with 9 points in the first. You had 18 altogether there against Joaquin, 5 of them by the three-pointer and three-pointer the old-fashioned way out there. So, but, I mean, what do you really look forward out there with your guys, and how do you talk to your guys out there for how to know when to find you and when's a good time?
Well, I love when defenses play zone, obviously, because it's harder to help because we got such great guards and they draw the ball so well. And if they had to help off of me, and my guards always get me open when I can.
Right. I tell you what, another guy that helps you out too, because get it down in there to the big man, and then you're get back out there on the wing, he can find you out there, and that gives you that option out there as well.
Weston does a great job of that. Yes.
Yeah. I tell you, I mean, and good team. I mean, you guys get up and down the floor quick. So, I mean, I know nobody likes to practice, but Coach Wager's got to have a pretty intense practice out there because he knows you guys know what y'all want to go to here. You know where you are. So you got to believe in what Coach Wager's telling you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I tell you, he does a good job. So tell me about some of you other guys out there. I know you talked a little bit about them, but I mean, Mathis, Parker, those guys, you got to love playing with them. I mean, it seems like it's a lot of fun right now.
Oh, yeah, especially DJ. He's got great basketball IQ. I mean, he knows when I'm open. It's like he's got eyes in the back of his head. Geeche's a very physical guard. Like Coach said, he rebounds the ball well. And Dylan has unbelievable toughness. I've never seen a kid as tough as him. And Weston, like you said, he alters a lot of shots, gets a lot of rebounds, and usually when they double him, he always finds me for the kick out, gets a lot of assists off me, and I get a lot of points off of him.
Right. Well, that's good, because those assists are always good when you get those dropping those dimes out there. But I tell you what, you guys, like I said, and coaches even said, if it's open, go ahead and take it. And I mean, you guys have done it. Like I said, 9 of 24 the other night. That's a good percentage there whenever you're hitting that. I mean, just staying right around 50 or 40, 50%. That's a good percentage of 3-point shots, and most of those are due to you. And I mean, I guess you kind of open up for it. You get it started, and the guys just kind of fall after you. Huh?
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right. So I mean, engineering in Lamar. So are you originally from Shelbyville? You've lived here your whole life. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. My parents moved me down here when I was little. Oh, they've always been down here since my brother was little, and then moved to Hemp Hill, and we came back when I was in 4th grade.
All right. So any football before you play? I mean, probably like all the Shelbyville kids probably play almost every sport over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I played football since 7th grade, and I played baseball since I was little. And I played basketball since I was little.
Right. So, and I know the baseball team is going to be very good again this year. We're hopefully going to be able to cover some of those guys for you guys as well. But, man, I tell you what, man, Eli, man, I appreciate you being up out here, and I hope you continue the success of everything and just keep it up out there. And like I said, you got a fan of me because I love the three because you can always have fun whenever the threes are going down, and you can do all kinds of good stuff out there with that. So keep that up, man, and keep feeding your guys out there, because I think you guys have got a good run coming up. And I will tell you this, the Beckville game coming up, probably going to be one of the biggest ones coming up. What do you see about that one? I mean, that was going to be a tough one, man.
I want it. That's all I want.
You want it bad.
Yes,
there you go. Get another shot at it. Because Coach said, they kind of left some things on the floor with them there that time. He thought maybe you guys didn't have the best night there, so I think maybe you turn it around when you go to their house, huh?
Yes, sir. I hope so. Let's not have a third quarter like the last time.
Yeah, and sometimes those third quarters will get you. You come out of there out at halftime, and you just go flat in that third quarter, and it kind of messes up the whole game, don't it? Yes, especially with a good team like those guys there, because you're going to be good and running and gunning out there. But I think you guys are going to be able to hang with them on that game coming up. We'll be over there to cover that too, and we got a couple more games to cover for you guys. So, man, I wish you luck, man, and keep it up and keep that team rolling. You guys do really good, and I have a lot of fun covering the Shelbyville Dragons, and I appreciate you, man, for coming down here and being with that. So, let's switch back over here, chat with Coach for a minute, if you don't mind, and then we'll come back to you here for just a few other things too. But, Coach, I tell you what, man, you got some games coming up here. That, we got Tennehaw, Garrison, Timpson, Beckville, Joaquin, and Gary to finish out. So you got tough part of the back half of the schedule at the top coming up here. So, that's the next big thing that you need to work on. So, Tennehaw, we have a week off, though, don't we? Got a little
we have the bye.
A bye week, yeah.
Yeah, we have the bye tomorrow night, and then we are at home against Tennehaw on Friday.
Right, yeah. That's the game. We will be there for that, to cover that right here in Edison, so we'll be there for that one. And then after that, then it's Garrison, Timpson, and then Beckville, and that Beckville's over there too, And then it'll be just Joaquin and Gary will be just guys' games at that time because the girls will be kind of wrapping up at that part of the season.
Right.
But, coming into that part of it, I mean, after what you've gone through here and seeing these teams already, do you guys think you have a good advantage over, the way that you approach them coming up in the second game?
Well, there's no slouches in our district. It's a tough night, every time you take the floor, with 3 ranked teams in the top 25 in one district is incredible.
Right.
And so, we try to roll into each game and take it one game at a time and focus on them. But, we have a tough stretch here. Tennehaw is going to be wanting revenge on us from we got them at their place, and Garrison's going to want the same thing when we go to their place as well. So, we'll see. But we're just going to take it one game at a time, and right now we're focused on Tennehaw. So.
Yeah, that's what you got to. And two, you were able to get that first win against Coach Lewis, and Lewis, and your coach there, and you said Tennehaw's kind of worked back through it. So how do you get that? How do you keep that win coming over here? Tennehaw, you just got to do the same thing. You got to change some things up.
Well, I told the guys today at practice, Tennehaw's been playing really, really well here of late. They've had a couple slip through the cracks, but I was there when they played Beckville and had Beckville on the ropes and should have won that game. So, we can't take them lightly, just because we beat them at their place the first time. All that game doesn't really mean anything anymore, and we've got to be laser focused on, what they're bringing to the table for Friday night.
Yeah, I tell you, all these teams are going to be ready because they're trying to vie for those playoff positions there. So let me ask you, too, Coach. I know that, you guys are kind of different from, like the St. Augustine and Woden. I mean, those two districts, though, once we hit the district playoffs, they'll probably end up running into each other somewhere along there because you got some really good teams that are down in that district, too,
right.
up here. I mean, this whole Pineywood area's got 6 or 7 teams that are
right. So that's actually our bi-district matchup, so we'll meet them in the first round.
Oh, wow.
So I think right now St. Augustine's leading the district, and then Corrigan,
Camden,
right Woden, and then Sherino and West Sabine.
Right.
So, wherever we fall, within our district, we'll draw one of those teams in the first round. So, I've kind of been keeping my eye on them a little bit and, collecting some films along the way to help us out down the stretch.
Well, I tell you what, that St. Augustine team is pretty solid. Like y'all Beckville and St. Augustine and even the Woden and Corrigan Camden right there in that district is really, really solid basketball teams there. So those are going to be some teams that, hopefully you won't have to see them in the first round, maybe move on down the line a little bit.
Right. I mean, we're in the hardest region in the state of Texas. 2A Region 3 is just stacked and loaded with talent. And so, if you survive and get to the regional tournament, you've accomplished something really, really big.
Right. Well, let me ask Eli real quick, if you don't mind. Hey, man, real quickly, I know we got some games coming up or whatever. You've been through it all in your 4th year here playing ball. Which one of these teams do you look forward to the most to, do you think you're going to have, if you would say you have your best game against, if you want to put that out there like that, who do you think that you would much rather play right now, that you think you can have one of your good games against?
That I would like to, or that I could have my best game. But if the one I would like to have my best game against is Beckville for sure.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, if you guys can control some of the stuff that they do down in the middle, and you still hit those shots out there like that, I think you guys are going to give them a real tough run at it. And that could be for deciding who's going to be number 1 and number 2 in that district when it comes down to it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a tough one too. You guys are going to be. I mean, I can't wait for it. I'm already looking forward to that one right there. Well, let me ask you here. Let's switch over here. Do you? Hang on. Hey, let me just ask you, man. Do you watch much of the girls' games?
I watch a decent amount. Yeah.
I tell you what, they're rocking and rolling, aren't they?
Yeah.
Coach Murray got them going. What do you think about those girls?
Yeah, I like the way they play for Coach Mickey. That press is real dangerous, and they get a lot of turnovers and a lot of points off of that. I like to see that.
Right, that's good. I'd like to see you guys out there, rooting on the girls because they're working and trying hard just like they are for you guys. There you go. All right, well, let's chat back over here with Coach, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Thanks, sir. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But I'll tell you, too, Coach, if you don't mind real quick, we'll talk about Coach Murray and his squad. As they got the victory the other night, and that was very big for them because that put them at 4-4 in the district round along with Joaquin, and they're right there. So, I mean, Coach Murray, he's got these girls believing. I mean, they went we had 19 points for Lawson. We had Lathan with 14 out there the other night. So, they did everybody scoring. They're hitting at the 3-point line. They're hitting at the free throw line. So, and then after the game was over or getting closer, you can just see Murray down there just pumped up. And I love to see that, man. You got to like that that's what he's doing.
Absolutely. He brings a lot of energy to those girls, since he's taken over. And, he's really given them a spark. I took them a game or so to get comfortable with him, but they're on a heater right now. They've won 3 in a row. Stole one in Gary the other night. It was unbelievable. Hits a couple shots late to give them the lead, and they hung on. And then just in the fourth quarter, just dominated Joaquin to win their 3rd straight. So he's got them rolling, and they're fun to watch. Like Eli said, their press is really fun to watch them get after it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they can continue the success through the last 4 games of their district play.
Yeah, because I'll go back to the Garrison game, one of the first ones I saw them, and then Garrison was kind of having their way with them a little bit, and the coach switched to that press, and as soon as he did, it just changed the way they did, and they came out winning that game. So he's kind of stuck with it after that, because it's really what's working for him.
Absolutely, I think he ended up winning. He was down early in that game. I think they ended up winning by like 15 or so.
Yep.
But like I said, they beat Beckville. They beat Gary, and they beat Joaquin, 3 in a row to get them rolling.
Mm-hmm. And coming up to one of their toughest games coming, they got the number 2 team, Tenhaw, coming up here on Tuesday night. That's going to be a tough one, but I think they can give them a run. They just got to play strong and tough out there, but Tenhaw is going to be hard to beat out there as well.
Absolutely. The girls from Tenhaw are fun to watch as well, and hopefully our girls can get into their press and force some turnovers and, give them a run for their money on Friday night.
Yeah, because I was fortunate enough last year to call the NFHS playoff games for Tenaha all the way through, and I knew that at the end of last year, whenever they got beat there, I think it was LaPointer that might have got them, I can't remember, but I knew we were going to have a good basketball team they were going to be this year. Same thing with the Center Rough Rider girls. They've just become phenomenal, and Tenaha Lady Tigers are moving right along as well. They've lost a couple games out there, but I'll tell you, this is a team that's going to be good in the playoffs and could make a long run as well.
Absolutely, yep. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. And for Coach Murray, it's at Tenaha, then they got a tough Garrison squad again, Timpson, and then Beckville. So get a few of those wins in there, 2 or 3 of them out of there. Maybe even 4-0 out of it. You never know. You move up in there, and you're sitting right in there in a good spot for the district for Coach too. And that would be because I don't think the girls made it last year, did they?
Not sure.
I don't think that they made it last year, if I remember right. But I know that this year they got a real good shot at it. So it's a good chance for them to get in there. So gotta love the Shelbyville Dragon girls and the crowd behind them too. They're liking what the girls are doing as well.
Oh, absolutely. For the boys and for the girls, our fans are absolutely phenomenal. They show up every night. They get us kind of rolling a little bit, and they bring the energy. So, we really want to give them a shout-out and say how much we appreciate them.
Yeah, the fans are great, man. Every time I've been up there, and your boss, too, Coach Wallace, always good to see Coach Wallace. He always does a great thing out there, too. So, but, Shelbyville and the group and the fans over there and all the good folks is looking really, really good for, basketball season in a football state, But the way that it is up, like you said, up and down this area in Region 3 as far as the basketball teams, it's tough to play basketball around here.
It is, yep. Night in and night out. I think we're in the toughest district in the state of Texas on the boys' side. And so, but that's going to make us better for the playoffs. Those Timpson games, those Tenaha games, Beckville games, they get you ready for, the first, second, third rounds.
Right.
So.
And it could be one of those times where you could see one of those Beckville Timpson teams in the third, fourth round down there where you've already seen them and kind of be a little bit of advantage instead of just watching film and some other stuff like that.
Well, absolutely. Well, I'm going to make a little prediction here. I think there's probably going to be at least one team from our district, maybe 2, that make it to the regional tournament. I believe that very, very well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I could say hopefully more than that. We get as many as we can down there. That'd be awesome. Well, I tell you what, guys, I really appreciate y'all coming down here tonight. I know the weather was kind of crazy and everything, and we're kind of on our own here tonight, but that's okay. We want to make sure that the shows are going on, and we're going to be back again next week, and we hope to have Coach Lewis down here from Tenaha next week for the first time.
Well, I'll call him, and I'll make sure he comes down.
Okay.
So I'm going to force him. I'm bring him with me.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, you come on down because we're going to be doing Gary Tenaha and then Tenaha and Shelbyville next week, and then hopefully we can see if we can get Coach Graves and maybe Coach Turner to come down, or maybe even some of the West Sabine coaches to come down because we're playing on them last week, and we had a big fun thing planned out there, but we didn't get down. We still work that out, see what we can
That'll
get
work.
All right, guys. So, anything you need to add before we go, man? You good? You can take some of that pizza home, man. I promise you, because I'm not going to eat it all.
Well, I got one thing to say.
I know. That's why I was holding off until the end. I was like, we're going to let Coach say his thing.
Go Dragons.
Go Dragons. That's right. Go Dragons. And thanks a lot for being here, guys, man. I appreciate y'all, taking up my time, our time here for this evening. And I know we love talking Shelbyville basketball. And, man, I really love those shirts. I'm going to have to figure out how to get me one.
Hey, we see if we can work something out. You hooked us up with a shirt today. I don't know if we'll let everybody at home see it. So
it says, I'm getting these from my coaches when they come down for the first time. I know Coach Wager's been here, but I didn't have him last time. So it says, I survived the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, and the St. Augustine coaches got their yours, and then Coach Turner, Coach Graves, and all y'all got to come down here to get it. So
that'll work, and we'll hook you up with some Shelbyville merchandise. When we come back.
That sounds good to me. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for being here. Have a wonderful night, and good luck, and enjoy the little time off. Take a little bit extra practice, or you're going to give them a little bit of break?
We're going to give them a little break. We had a great practice today, and that kind of was the deciding factor that, they earned it today. So we're going to give them a little break tomorrow, and then we'll get back after it on Wednesday.
There you go, because you're going to let them off for too long.
That's right.
You got to keep them straight and running
That's
there.
That's right.
For sure. Well, I just keep up the good work, man. You guys and your whole team, man, do a great job. And to all the teams out there that we get the chance to cover, we appreciate y'all being there and letting us do it. And we'll talk to some of those great coaches coming up. And let you know, as I said, Tenaha and Gary tomorrow in Tenaha at Shelbyville on Friday, St. Augustine to West Sabine on the 30th, Timpson at Shelbyville on the 2nd, and then the 6th, Shelbyville Beckville. That's the big one there. And then St. Augustine Woden Torino down there at the end. On the other side, it's going to be exciting all the way to the end. It's going to be fun. I love the basketball season, man.
Yeah,
so
me
it's all
too.
good. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for being here. We're going to let y'all get up out of here and be dry and safe out there, and we'll see y'all on Friday. And we're going to kick back over here. I know that I've got to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to wrap up the show here. Thanks for sticking out with us here at the Pizzeria on the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show on NetSN.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Your local bank is on the move with improvements to 2 locations, one on the World Wide Web. What used to be ShelbySavingsBank.com is now SSBTex.com, a more powerful and user-friendly website. And at the original Selma Street location, a new lobby to better serve you. Improvements to the corner of Shelbyville and Selma, and at the intersection of your device and the World Wide Web, it's SSB, same bank, new look.
For Matthews Realty, going above and beyond is what's expected. This is agency owner Colin Matthews. Our team of seasoned real estate professionals believe in giving their clients an advantage in any real estate transaction. Matthews Realty has a reputation of highly personalized service. Matter of fact, it's our #1 priority. From commercial and residential properties, poultry farms to beach rentals, our team works hard so you don't have to.
Call Matthews Realty 598-7800 or see their complete listings at matthewsrealty.com.
Wiggins Farms. You know, they call them the watermelon family, but the product from their farm when the melon's just a baby, all the way through to the harvest to your table. It's the juiciest, best melons available. Wiggins Farms, hat not included.
All right, there we go. Hit the right button. All right, folks, Larry Pierce back here at the Pizzeria, getting ready to wrap it up here today for the Pineywood Area Coaches Show. And I want to say thanks a lot to Coach Wager and to Eli Ferguson for making a trip over here today. We had some Torino coaches, and we'll hopefully get them down here whenever they have an opportunity. Sometimes things come up, but the coaches aren't able to make it, which is always cool. But we're going to get them down here, and hopefully next week we'll have Tennehaw coaches, we'll have some Shelbyville coaches, West Sabine coaches. We have a bunch of them. I like to have, after the end of the girls' season, I like to have all the girls' coaches for like a ladies' night coaches show. That's what I'd like to do. So we're going to try to put that together as we get towards the end of the month. But, hey, the two that we cover over here, the 2 districts that we're covering are just very good basketball all the way across. When you look at this, you got Tennehaw, Timpson, Joaquin, Shelbyville, Garrison, Gary, and Beckville on the girls' side. And then you got Beckville, Shelbyville, Timpson, Tennehaw, Garrison, Gary, and Joaquin on that one. And then on the other districts over there, you got Broadus, West Sabine, Woden, Torino, Coleman Hill. On the guys' side, you got St. Augustine, Corrigan, Camden, Woden, Torino. So all kinds of different things brought us in there as well on the guys' side. But those brought us team for the girls' side looking very well too. So a lot of wonderful teams out here. We're going to be covering a lot of those, especially once we get into the playoffs right here on NetSN. So we hope to have a lot of folks follow us along with that. So coming up here, final games, not final games, but games this week. We will be in Tennehaw tomorrow night for Gary Bobcats and Tennehaw Tigers. And then we'll be in Shelbyville for Tennehaw at Shelbyville, and then on Monday we'll be right back here for the Coaches Show at the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show, and we'll have some Tennehaw coaches, Shelbyville coaches as well, and hopefully some of those ones, maybe West Sabine, because St. Augustine and West Sabine on the 30th is going to be a very good one too. Timpson to Shelbyville, another big one, as Timpson's going to try to get that win back from Shelbyville. Shelbyville's going to try to keep pace before they get ready to taste Beckville coming up after that. That's some good games on the way, all right here on NetSN. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, folks. Sorry it's just me, but that's okay. We're just doing what we're going to do. We're going to make sure we get all the coaches and the teams taken care of. That's what we do here in the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show. Coach Wager, Ferguson, thank you for being here. The Pizzeria, thank you for having us here once again. And so we'll see everybody back here for the Piney Woods Area Coaches Show next Monday night here from the Pizzeria. Join us tomorrow night right here on NetSN, starting about 6 o'clock for Tennehaw Tigers and Gary Bobcats right here on NetSN. Have a wonderful night, everybody. We're out of here. See you.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the Pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Evans' three-point shot.
Hit the powering shot, baby.
Red Bulls takes it to the house. The following is a production of the Rough Rider broadcast team, a presentation of Watlington and Shires Productions.